journey started at the border of Galicia, on the French way. A long way ahead was awaiting me, but before starting, I got my pilgrim credential to keep track of my Camino. Now I was ready to walk. I started walking early in the foggy morning, crossed the border between the regions of Castile and Galicia, and finally arrived to my first stop. I left some stuff in the albergue, and while I was waiting for the rain to stop, I had some Galician pie for breakfast in a rustic tavern that had garlic and money hanging from the ceiling. Guys, when I came here, it was like maybe 10 o'clock or something like that. It was everything covered in fog. You couldn't see farther than the length of your arm, and it was heavy raining and I just couldn't film anything. And I was quite hopeless because I needed to show you this beautiful village. I don't have to explain why O Cebreiro is considered one of the most beautiful villages on the Camino. This isolated place, where even mobile signal cannot reach, is characterized for its ancient huts called payozas. But not everything is so charming here. This used to be one of the most deadly stretches of the Camino. There were found thousands of bodies buried under the church of O Cebreiro. The reason of this is that O Cebreiro used to be a very dangerous place for pilgrims to walk, so those who didn't make it were buried here. But beyond this, O Cebreiro attracts with its views, its unique cheese and its cozy atmosphere. The next day, I came across the Pilgrim Monument, an iconic spot that shows the walking in its traditional outfit: cape, water bottle made from a pumpkin, shell and walking stick. However, modern pilgrims decided to add a little extra detail to it. After a horde of tourists interrupted me, I arrived at the next village, where an 800-year-old chestnut tree welcomed me. Impressively, it was still producing fruit. Ahí está. I left my clothes to dry from the rain and sweat and went for a quick look around the village to relax a bit, as the next day was going to be challenging. Here, I decided to take the alternative route to pass through Samos, a village hidden among the mountains with an impressive monastery founded 15 centuries ago. If you have some spare time, I highly recommend taking this route, visiting the monastery and trying their chocolates. If you walk the Camino, you probably notice that there are stones on every milestone in the way, and these stones have many meanings. One of them, it means like people are leaving sins behind, or bad thoughts, or bad luck. And there is a legend I've heard before walking the Camino that there were pilgrims that started the Camino from their homes with a backpack full of stones, and when they were getting closer and closer to Santiago, they were leaving stones behind. So when they got to Santiago, they had an empty backpack without any stones, meaning that they are now free of sins, free of bad luck, free of bad thoughts and bad actions. Halfway through, I ran out of water and went to a nearby house to ask if I could refill my water bottle. The owner not only refilled it without hesitation, but also gave me an extra bottle so I could continue my journey without issues. Soon after, I arrived at a village called Perros, which means dogs in Spanish. One of the locals welcomed me warmly. I stopped for a snack at a bar with a lot of Camino themed decorations. And after that I kept walking, and in the afternoon I reached my destination, where I was finally able to rest after a long day. On the fourth day, I finally enjoyed a city with proper shops and supermarkets. I had some drinks with other pilgrims I met on the way and bought some glue to repair the sole of my shoe, which had come off a few days earlier. I just realized that I was quite close to one of the spots here in Sarria that I wanted to visit, which is the Miradoiro do Cárcere. And you can notice how this photo was took many years ago, because now those trees have grown and you can see anything, almost, just here and there. I stayed another night in the city, this time at a monastery where with a group of pilgrims I practiced some yoga that helped me to continue my way full of energies as the first day. Portomarin, a village devastated by innovation. During the Spanish dictatorship, due to the construction of a water reservoir nearby, the village had to be destroyed and rebuilt higher on the hill. During the process, some of the monuments and treasures were moved to other places in Galicia, and the village never got back the same charm it used to have before. To speak to some local, to some of the people that live here, to know the story of their town. And I asked one person, he sent me to another person, this person sent me to another person, so I eventually got to speak to the wife of the photographer that captured how this village was being destroyed. And she told me about the story, and she was holding tears in her eyes, and you could just see it as she was talking, because those people they took away everything from them, and it used to be a very beautiful town, but now what's left of it is this.
Where can I go where I'm missing a front tooth and I don't care? I'll just go walk the Camino. So for my 67th birthday, I went to St. John Peter Port and I just started walking.
I met this nice woman from the United States in my next village, and she really motivated me to keep walking. And that's what I did. I was getting closer to Santiago with each step. Next morning, without even having breakfast, I walked the last kilometers to Santiago. Like the rest of the pilgrims, I went to celebrate to the Obradoiro Square, in front of the cathedral, and, after that, to get my Compostela, the documents that certifies you have completed the Camino. I also visited the interior of the cathedral, where I made a wish and was even lucky enough to witness the pilgrims' mass. During the service, the botafumeiro is swung from one side of the cathedral to the other. This huge silver-plated censer weighs over 60 kilos, is 1.5 meters tall, and can reach a speed of nearly 70 kilometers per hour. Is filled with incense and coal smoking. In the past, this was used to eliminate the bad smell of pilgrims. Nowadays, it's a symbolic act. In reality, the Camino doesn't end in Santiago. Many pilgrims walk one more stage to reach the so-called end of the world. This is where they used to pick the iconic shells and officially finish their journey.
You know, Fisterra may seem as a simple fisherman town, but it's not as simple as it seems. This is place for many legends. The Romans, for example, they used to believe this was the end of the world, and that's the reason of the name. Finish means the end, and terre means land or world, because they believed that beyond this never-ending ocean there was nothing. The Celtic people, for example, they sent their dead beloved ones into the afterlife in little boats into the ocean, and some people even believe that here the city of Atlantis starts. So this place is magical.
As magical as its sunsets.
I know what's gonna